Hey everybody, welcome to this video. I want to talk to you about what the important places in old Breath of the Wild are going to be in the sequel, based on what we've seen in the announcement trailer. So what we know from the trailer so far is that they're going to be reusing this lovely, gorgeous, lush world that they've already produced and spent a long time doing so. However, it's going to have the changes of a post-game, so I'm really looking forward to that. There's a lot to have. There's a lot to put in here. But for now, the two areas that we're going to focus on that have been shown in the trailer are underneath the castle, the exact area around the castle, and the view from the Great Plateau. The view, in particular, the view of this area, this direction. So we're going to have a look at those areas. And we're here underneath Hyrule Castle, but where do we start to look for the important areas? The dock entrance? Nah. The library? Nope. How about the secret mines just beside the library? Still too high. We have to go lower! So going into any of the areas underneath Hyrule Castle, we can see that everything is built in to a cave. Which means it really ties in with what we see in the trailer, where Zelda and Link are traversing what is obviously a cave system. And that's important because it means we are expecting to be able to go lower than where this castle so far stands. That's what we've seen in the trailer, and that's what we're going to be expecting with Link and Zelda when they're exploring even further down. As we go further through the dungeon area and we stay low, we can find this other much more cave-like system. Obviously in Breath of the Wild we can only go so low, but you can tell how natural the terrain is underneath the castle, and the castle is built on it. When we look at the cutscene, we can see the castle starting to rise out of the ground, which obviously opens up multiple more passages around this area. The only thing is, what I'm curious about is, this castle is surrounded by a big moat. So what exactly happens to the water area? Does the water all drain into a big crevice that's left where the castle used to be? So guys, we can expect definitely to go lower. Not that bad. We can definitely expect to go lower than this. Maybe this whole area will drain of water, and we'll find a massive system underneath the castle. What I expect is that the castle might actually become a floating castle, similar to what Ganon's castle is like in Ocarina of Time, and similar to what Skyloft is like in Skyward Sword. What's most interesting though is that in the trailer we see that there are actually structures already, which we can presume is beneath the castle. Now in the castle, we know we can't go any lower than what has allowed us in the chambers and the cave mining areas in the castle. However, in the castle itself, there are a lot of blocked off corridors, which we haven't had access to. Maybe in the next game we will actually have access to those areas, and we'll be able to go lower into the castle to a massive cavern area where we have the river, where we have other structures that have been built by either the Hylians or the Sheikah, and we'll find out about what they actually used an area so far down in the castle for, other than, say, keeping Ganondorf prisoner. So that's all we can see from Ganon's castle so far, so let's have a look at the view from afar with our big glowing eyes. So here we have the exact same view that we have at Dayrise in the trailer. And things to note are, Death Mountain is no longer active in either one, but in the post-game of Breath of the Wild, you can still see the lava cracking through. You can't in the trailer. It's possible that means there's a long time between the end of the first game and the beginning of the second game. Another important factor is, here's the wall area. If we're looking down towards there to the right, there's no shrine. Where's the shrine gone? It's gone. The beams, of course, that are holding Ganon are gone. Presumably that's a normal consequence of having beaten the game and we're starting in post-game. Whereas in Breath of the Wild, we can't actually continue from the point where we actually beat Ganon. So Ganon will always exist there unbeaten while we're still playing the game. It's not going to be the case in the sequel. To the left, the cliffs here, the towers are not visible. They're gone too. Even here, on the far right, the tower on that thing is also missing. And that's very obvious against the backdrop of a rising sun. So those towers are gone. But in a post-game area, unlike these laser beams in the sky, there isn't really a reason for the towers to disappear. It's possible it's just a game mechanic for us to have to do something again in the game, but one thing I'm noticing here is the sun is rising in a different area. So there's the castle and the sun is rising way over to my right here, and in the trailer it's rising about here. That's an interesting change. And one of the most important things, of course, are as we see the castle rising out of the ground, we can go ahead and presume that something amazing is going to happen, like it's going to ascend into the sky. I don't think it's just becoming a taller castle. That would seem rather underwhelming. So I think I'm going to presume that it's going to become a floating castle, and we're going to have to fight and traverse our way through Hyrule to manage to find a means to get up there, and I'm really excited to find out how that will go. Another one of the very important areas that people pointed out in the trailer is the Zonai ruins that are found all over Hyrule. These are assumed to play a significant role in the next Zelda because of the similarities between these and the underground structures. So far we're presuming that the area we've seen in the trailer is underneath Hyrule Castle, but there's no evidence that the Zonai ruins are underneath Hyrule Castle so far. They're all over Hyrule elsewhere. There is obviously a connection between the Zonai ruins and the Sheikah, because here, where I am, the Spring of Courage and a Sheikah shrine is found inside Zonai ruins. So these guys are probably going to play a significant role lore-wise in the next game. Honestly, because of how extinct they are here, and the sequel being a sequel after this game, I don't expect them to play some sort of return. But I think it's going to be exclusively lore-wise. Even the Sheikah seem to have gone extinct, or at least close to it, in the next game, from what I've gathered from the trailer. If you're curious about what I'm talking about, check out my other Zelda videos discussing the theories behind what's going on in the trailer. I'll leave a link for that in the cards above. But one of the points that we've discovered is perhaps that the Zonai have left other ruins that we haven't discovered, such as a possible temple. People have speculated that this is a return to classic style temples that we loved from Zelda in the past. I'll keep my eyes peeled and my ears ready, and I'll let you guys know what new info we get when we get it. So make sure you guys sub, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching this short but sweet little video. Bye!